Captain Maya Daniels had always been told she flew like she was born with wings. But on that fateful December morning at Meridian Airlines headquarters, those wings were clipped by 7 words that would change everything. "Captain Daniels, we need you to wait outside." Maya, a 37-year-old black woman with over 15,000 flight hours across every continent except Antarctica, had just begun her first day as a senior captain at Meridian Airlines, one of the country's most prestigious carriers. She had spent months applying, interviewing, and testing for this role, and today was supposed to be her moment of triumph. Instead, she found herself standing in a cold hallway, humiliated and confused. The morning had started like any other. The fog clung to the tarmac at O'Hare International Airport as Maya navigated her way through the terminal. Her uniform was impeccable, the 4 gold stripes on each sleeve catching the fluorescent lights. She had just enough time to grab coffee before her 5:30 a.m. briefing for Flight MA-27 to San Francisco. As she entered the crew lounge, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air. Pilots and flight attendants huddled around tables, reviewing flight plans or scrolling through their phones. Maya noticed the subtle shift in the room, the momentary pause in conversations, the curious glances. She was used to it. According to industry statistics, less than 1% of commercial airline pilots were black women. Captain Richard Whitmore, a man in his 50s with salt and pepper hair, approached her. "You must be Captain Daniels," he said, extending his hand. "Welcome to Meridian." Maya shook his hand firmly, but something about his demeanor set off warning bells. He was cordial, but his smile didn't reach his eyes. The briefing room buzzed with activity when Maya entered. Her co-pilot, First Officer James Chen, greeted her with a genuine smile. "I've heard great things. Looking forward to flying with you," he said. But before Maya could respond, Thomas Barrett, Meridian's Executive Operations Director, entered the room. "There's been a change of plans," he announced, avoiding Maya's gaze. "Captain Whitmore will be taking command of Flight 207 today. Captain Daniels, we need you to wait outside while we reassign you." The room fell silent. Maya felt all eyes on her as heat crept up her neck. "May I ask why?" she asked, struggling to keep her voice even. "I was scheduled for this flight weeks ago." Barrett glanced at Richard before responding. "It's a matter of experience. San Francisco is a challenging approach, and given your unfamiliarity with our protocols—" Maya interrupted. "With all due respect, I've flown into SFO 73 times over the past decade, including during severe weather conditions. My qualifications were thoroughly reviewed during the hiring process." Barrett's tone hardened. "This isn't up for discussion. Please wait outside." Maya leaned against the hallway wall, her mind racing. In her 20 years of flying, she had faced discrimination in countless forms. Passengers requesting a different pilot upon seeing her, colleagues making snide comments about affirmative action. But this felt different, more calculated, more deliberate. 10 minutes later, James emerged from the briefing room. "For what it's worth, I think it's nonsense," he said. He explained that Maya had been reassigned to Shadow Flight 422 to Seattle, a short hop captained by Harold Wilson, Meridian's most senior captain, and a man known for his opposition to diversifying the pilot ranks. Maya's first flight with Wilson was a masterclass in passive aggression. He ignored her during pre-flight preparations, and later condescendingly narrated his actions as if she were a novice. But Maya remained composed, focusing on observing Meridian's procedures. When Wilson made a minor error during the descent into Seattle, Maya calmly corrected him. Wilson acknowledged her with a stiff, "Thank you," but his subsequent words were a clear message. "One good catch doesn't make you Meridian material. This airline has standards, traditions, not everyone fits." Maya's week continued in a similar vein. She was assigned to shadow different captains, all men with reputations similar to Wilson's. The pattern was obvious. They were hazing her, hoping she'd quit. But Maya wasn't one to back down. She began quietly documenting every slight, every deviation from protocol, and every hint of something more sinister lurking beneath Meridian's polished exterior. Her investigation led her to Marcus Jefferson, a middle-aged black technician who had been with Meridian for 23 years. Marcus revealed that management had been pressuring the maintenance team to speed up turnaround times, leading to corners being cut. Some checks that used to be mandatory are now at technicians' discretion, he said. Between us, I wouldn't put my family on some of these planes. Maya's suspicions were confirmed when she was finally assigned to captain a red-eye flight from Chicago to Las Vegas. During the pre-flight inspection, she noticed discrepancies in the maintenance logs. Despite pressure from dispatch to avoid delays, Maya insisted on a thorough inspection, delaying the flight by 20 minutes. She filed a detailed report noting her concerns, but the next morning she was summoned to Thomas Barrett's office. Barrett accused her of overruling the ground crew based on a feeling and warned her that Meridian valued efficiency alongside safety. Maya stood her ground, insisting that safety was her primary judgment call. The confrontation escalated, and Maya knew she had crossed a line. She was now officially a problem. That night, Maya reviewed all the evidence she had collected: maintenance discrepancies, policy violations, and testimony from sympathetic employees. The picture was clear. Meridian Airlines was systematically compromising safety for profit. Maya knew what she had to do, but the consequences would be severe. Her career, built meticulously over decades, would likely never recover. Still, she thought of her father's words. Flying isn't just a job. It's a sacred trust. People put their lives in your hands. Maya called her sister, Zoe, a lawyer, and asked for her help. Together, they prepared a comprehensive report for the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and the Chicago Tribune. The next morning, Maya made her final stand in Meridian's executive conference room. Faced with an ultimatum to resign or be fired, Maya revealed that she had already submitted her report to the FAA and the Tribune. She demanded that Meridian ground every aircraft with maintenance discrepancies, conduct a full safety audit, and ensure no retaliation against employees who cooperated with her investigation. The fallout was swift. Meridian grounded 40% of its fleet, flights were canceled, and the company's stock plummeted. The FAA launched a formal investigation, and the Tribune's exposé sparked national outrage. Barrett, Whitmore, and Wilson were placed on administrative leave, and Meridian eventually filed for bankruptcy. 6 weeks later, Maya watched as workers removed Meridian's iconic logo from its headquarters. The airline's assets were purchased by Atlantic Airways, which offered positions to all certified staff except the executives under investigation. Maya received multiple job offers, but chose to join Atlantic as a senior captain. She also became a vocal advocate for safety and equality in aviation, mentoring young pilots and testifying in support of stronger whistleblower protections. On the 5th anniversary of Meridian's collapse, Maya received an unexpected email from Richard Whitmore. He apologized for his actions and acknowledged the harm caused by his attitudes. Maya accepted his apology, reflecting on how far she and the industry had come. As she guided a Boeing 787 Dreamliner into the skies above Chicago, Maya thought about the words that had started it all. "Captain Daniels, we need you to wait outside." They had set in motion events that transformed an industry. Sometimes the most important journeys begin with a door closing in your face. But the sky has no doors, only horizons waiting to be crossed.